Hello, everybody. Stephen Meade here with Domicile Real Estate. This is our first-time home buyer market update for Southern California. The date here is November 19th, 2021. We are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. And, I had an interesting interaction at a showing today, and I thought I would share it because I think it really has a lot of meaning for buyers in the market today. And here's my overall message: is you can never go back. So I was at a showing today of a condo with an investor, and this investor was talking to me about the pricing of the condo, and something she kept mentioning was, well, another one that was like this sold for $20,000 less 4 months ago, and she conveniently wanted to ignore the house that was the same, that had sold for $30,000 more a week ago. And my point is this: is that you can never go back as a buyer. And I think looking backwards like that is a little bit of dangerous thinking. I think that leads people to be unhappy. I think you have to make decisions and choices about the market really in the present, and maybe with a little bit of trying to predict the future. I think if you're trying to make decisions based on the past. The other thing too that I think people want to do is they want to believe that they can predict the future based on something that happened in the past. And one of those examples is people tell me this is exactly like 2008 or 2007. And I totally see why people would want to draw those parallels and feel like they can get a bearing on the future. But as far as the metrics go, it is not anything like 2007 or 2008 from our affordability calculations. They're just not coming up with the same numbers. We don't see people buying on speculation. We had a lot of people buying homes with no intention to move into them. They were going to buy them, hold them for 6 months, and turn around and sell them. I don't see that in this market. So I think it's very dangerous to look backwards, either lamenting the things that you didn't buy several months ago, or looking back thinking that you can predict the future based on something that happened, years ago. There are absolutely lessons to be learned through history, but every market is different. And the second you think you have it figured out, that is the moment when you should know you don't have any of it figured out if you think you've got it figured out. But let's take a look at the stats, because if you watch our other whole market update, we're seeing a pretty big difference between the overall market and the entry-level market this week. So starting off, I want to look at prices. And I give this caveat every single time, right? Our blue line is our entry-level single-family home, 3-bed, 2-bath in LA and Orange counties. The red line is our entry-level 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. These prices are based on things that were negotiated 4 to 6 weeks ago. If you look at our entry-level single-family home, you see maybe a slight incline or leveling out the last couple of months, right? You can kind of see here. If you look at our condo, you actually see a little bit stronger kind of a trend line of growth. And I absolutely believe that. I think that condo market is getting more highly valued. And I'm going to show you why in a couple minutes. So, combining this with prevailing mortgage rates, someone came up to me and said that we might really be the only people who are tracking so simply based on what payments actually are. And just as a reminder, this is a total monthly payment based on 5% down, including mortgage insurance, taxes, and HOA fee in the case of our condo, metric. Like, we're really trying to give a realistic idea of total monthly payment. And you see in our entry-level single-family home, we're at just under $4,100. And if you were looking at our entry-level condo here, we are around $3,149 for those figures. These are by no means cheap, but when I start seeing 2-bedroom condos renting for $2,500, $2,600 a month, that $3,100 doesn't look so crazy anymore, especially when you factor in that at today's interest rates, you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of dollars of principal being part of this payment that is going to build your equity. And just for fun, we like to say, what's the minimum household income you need to qualify for these if you have no other debts? Again, right hovering around this $100,000 figure. You see the market's kind of settled right around there. $100,000 for our entry level single family home and $77,000 here for our entry level condo. So now that we've kind of gone our pricing out of the way, we can talk about, really what I think is the crux of the market discussion. It really has been for quite some time, and that's the availability of housing. What kind of choice do you have? How many houses are out there? How competitive are these, markets overall? So let's jump back in here. I'm going to kind of go through sort of that availability of housing. So this is our 14-day absorption rate. This is probably the simplest sort of calculation of measuring how our supply and demand reconciling. And I mean, look at this condo figure. This is a new high, 105%. That means 5% more condos went under contract in the last week than came onto the market. So, this is a declining inventory environment, and it's actually declining pretty quickly, as we're going to see here. But look at our entry-level single-family home. That also jumped back up to a 99% absorption. And what does this tell us? It tells us that sellers are tired of having their houses on the market. It's the holidays. They don't want to deal with the trouble. And buyers are still, no, take my money. We want houses. Where are they? So even understand that even if that buy side is slowed down, the problem is it's not slowing down as fast as sellers are slowing down. So if we look at our total inventory, these graphs really kind of say it all. They also highlight the difference between single family homes and condos right now. I mean, for the first quarter or so of the year, condo inventory was higher or the same, as single family home inventory. And then something happened. That condo inventory stopped growing, whereas the entry level home inventory rose kind of through the summer. Then they both started taking a dive towards the end of August. And look at where we are. So, we're at roughly 1,350, 1,375 houses available in terms of entry level single family homes. But where were we in November, of last year? We were around 1,750 houses. So to watch this, I'm trying to look a couple moves ahead on this market, thinking, where is this going to set us up for in the spring, that buying push that starts to happen towards the end of January? I think we're going to be in a pretty bad place, actually. So, and if I'm looking at condos, wow, we've disappeared off the bottom of the graph. We are below 1,000 units available. Again, contrast that with, gosh, even the first week of 2021, we were at over 1,300 houses available for entry level condos, and we were under 1,000. That's a 30% drop. I just see this as setting us up for kind of a crazy condo market in the future. Now, if we look at our 14-day still active percentage, this is kind of another method of looking at market competitiveness overall. And I want to emphasize that overall, right? Because not every market is as competitive as others. This is LA and Orange County combined, all of the areas, but you might find that one particular area is super hot and another area has a little bit more inventory and it might not be as competitive. But look what's happened at the shape of this. We saw competition. Remember, lower means a more competitive market. We saw competition heat up. Then it kind of looked like it was easing as we're heading through the summer, but then it just stopped getting better. And now it's actually getting a little bit worse, right? If you're a first-time home buyer. So remember a few weeks ago when I told all of you, hey, get ready, be in the right position to buy. It would have been a good idea to have listened to that advice, I think, at this juncture. And then finally, I want to look at our week supply of homes. And this is where we reference that demand to the level of inventory and how many weeks supply, meaning if no new homes came on the market and we continue at the same run rate, how long would it take to run out of houses? And I just want to, to me, this graph is crazy, right? Not because the entry-level single-family home graph, even though that got a little bit worse at 3 and 3/8 weeks, about there. That is considerably lower than we were in the fall of last year. But look at this condo market in terms of inventory. You know, we were we were over double this, and we are at 4.14 weeks. This is actually a new low. This is the lowest condo inventory we have seen all year long. Now, one of the things I said at the beginning of this is that if you watched our earlier market update, these results are different. And I think this really is kind of showing that our market might be bifurcating a little bit. That move up market is a lot cooler right now than that entry level home buyer market, which is a much stronger market. You know, all of 2021, I'd say both of those markets were very hot. But right now, we're seeing that that move up market is a little bit more eased out. And there's a couple of reasons why that might be. Move up markets tend to be families that are more likely to have children. People don't like to move around this time. So that's one reason that that market's a little softer. But I think another reason is just plain that, you know, these entry level home buyers are still out there in the market. They are still looking. They're still looking to make a purchase, but those entry level home sellers, they've started to pull out of the market. So questions, comments, as always, we love them. If you would like to become a homeowner in Southern California, we would love to help you and represent your interest and help you make your dream of homeownership come true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Absolutely have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you next week, but if we don't see you, have a very happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, we'll see you again soon.